Welcome back to the B1M, the premier YouTube channel for pompous assholes that think they're the best at their subject matter. I don't know.
Whatever John said.
I tried to intro the episode really hard, everyone. I gave it my best, but it's not.
I don't think you gave it your best.
Not doing it for the day. You don't think I gave it?
You kind of just fucking threw shit at the wind.
Oh my gosh! Someone had it out with me at work today. There's a thing I could tell you about. I wanted to share that with you. Okay, first I wanted to say what I was coming into the episode with. I was making fun of there's a YouTube channel called the B1M, and they sign off every episode as you have been watching the B1M, YouTube's premier channel for architecture and design, or something like that. They just straight up say oh yeah, we're the #1 channel on YouTube for architecture and design. And it's not facetious. It's not like Leonard French saying your favorite copyright attorney, haha, get it? Who would have a favorite copyright attorney? That's silly. No, they're very. And it's a shame because they do have informative, insightful videos, but it's, you ain't no Atlas Pro, buddy. You're a guy reading wiki articles who's into architecture, and that's cool. Maybe you even have an architecture degree. Maybe I'm underselling your CVs here, but the channel itself is nothing special. You're not some mega awesome.
You're not some mega Bears fan.
That's not right. Anyway, so no, the guy that had it out with me at work, I guess we had a surprise health inspector show up. I was in the middle of something that I can't talk about. I'll have to talk about it over on Metroid. So watch that and
go watch that series
tomorrow or the next day. I'll probably tell this story actually. Sometime in the next few days if your name is Eric and you watch these every day that they go up. Or presumably the other ones that just don't talk as much. Lele and, maybe even the guy that had the Joker avatar.
I can't remember.
I know, and it's a shame because he says I'm back every time he comes back, and then I forget his name. He'll even message me, and we'll have conversations. I'm friends with a couple of these guys on Discord, or at least I have Discord conversations with them. Anyway. So yeah, I'm up somewhere where I'm kind of I'm caught in the middle of something. I'm in a meeting. It's not really a meeting, but you'll hear about it later. And I get done with it, and I'm hearing this chatter on the radio of a health inspector has just shown up. Suddenly, a health inspector has arrived. A wild health inspector has appeared, and I'm hearing the chatter on the radio they always want to find something obscure and hard to find and weird. And in this case, they wanted to find the GFIs to one of the lights on one of the pools. The GFCIs, the ground fault circuit interrupter. The thing that says, oh, hey, the circuit is connecting or doing something weird. I'm going to trip so that nobody gets shocked. The thing that's in your bathroom so you don't get shocked when water hits the outlet. And
the thing that makes sure you don't die.
Nobody on property knew where it was. There were a couple guys that knew where it was. They clocked out 10 minutes before the health inspectors showed up, of course, because the health inspectors like to show up when your morning guys clock out. I honestly think they're doing it to keep us on our toes at this point. I honestly think they're just waiting in their car an extra 10 minutes to catch the afternoon guys on purpose.
I mean, probably.
I do. I think they're targeting the low expertise to see where the weak points are in an attempt to get us to up those expertise. But who's gonna give their afternoon guy a tour of all of the light GFCIs for the pools? Because I never need that information. They're never on. They're on timers and they're off all the time. So I never have power connected to those things. Because it's light when I'm at work. Those lights come on so the pool guys in the morning can vacuum the pools out before the sun comes up. That's what those lights are for. And I presume if somebody falls in so you see their body, right? If somebody passes out and falls in the pool, you can fish them out before they die, ideally. Before they drown. That's also the goal, I'm sure. Because we don't have, super bright lights on the deck. That's why the pools have to close when it gets dark anyway. But, yeah, so I'm hearing all the chatter hey, no one knows where these are. And I actually am able to pipe up, I think they text me because, you know, they don't know if they can get a hold of me. And I say, no, I don't know where it is. I'll text a guy that you guys don't have the phone number of. He might know. I had a good thought while I went around another tour because I decided, like, okay, there's already like 2 guys over there looking for this thing. I'm not going to bother being an extra guy. I'm going to go be helpful by doing something else on the list of things that needs to get done. Right? So I go and take care of our 2 rooms up on the suites up high, up in the tower. And I'm hearing more and more, and while I'm up there, I think, like, hey, let's radio the guy that used to do the job that I do now. Maybe he remembers. He did not. But it was a good idea. And so while I'm up there, a couple of the... actually, I would say electricians, but these guys have to do everything. They wear all the hats out there. They're basically, like... They consolidated so many people together that... They're basically front services, and front services do everything. Like, they should be 3 different groups of people, like front services and electricians and no, I don't think I think mechanical still is separate, but you get the idea. They're wearing too many hats because too many people's jobs have been combined into too few. And so today they're playing electrician, among other things, but the relevant thing is they're playing electrician. They're going to help us find it, you know. And one of them says on the radio, I have an idea. Maybe it's in this place. And that's right as I'm about to come downstairs, right as I'm at the top of the building, you know, like I'm still listening to the radio traffic and participating, you know, brainstorming where could these be? Because there is, you know, a health inspector tapping their foot, and we've got engineers walking around looking for this thing. And I said, like, okay, well, I'm basically done. I have nothing left on my agenda until more time has passed for the day. Yeah. You know, like, all of my things are things that I do at specific times left. So, okay, I'm going to go downstairs and go look for it with them. Get reading
at X time.
Yeah, go take readings, and it's not early. It's too early to do those yet. And so, walk or have meeting at this time. You go to break. You know, it's only 11 a.m. And I go to work at 10. That sort of deal. And so, yeah, as I get down, like I get downstairs, I get down, I sit on one of the carts, because there's actually an extra cart just sitting there waiting for me, and I hear one of them say, like, aha, I found it. And it's like, oh, and, sorry, when I was at the top of the tower, I heard someone suggest, hey, check this electrical room that's nearby. Maybe it's on one of the breaker panels, because you know how sometimes breakers will have the GFCI built into it? Like, it'll be a little button on the breaker in the breaker panel. Yeah. If you at home or work wherever you're listening to On the Branch, because nobody watches this, you all listen.
Until you find out.
You might not have ever encountered this if you don't look at, like, commercial breaker panels, because at home, it's probably in the outlet, but it can be all the way over at the breaker. It doesn't have to be at the outlet. And so, yeah, it turns out it was over in this electrical room. And there's this guy that just doesn't like me. I don't know if I said just the magical 5 wrong words to him. Magic words. That was it. Put a pin in it, Amarith.
Oh, God.
Magic words. I'm writing it down. Hold on.
Oh, no, Hold on. They just said activate the gravity cannon.
No, it's more important that I say magic words. Literally the 2 words, magic words. Those words are, in fact, magical, because I will recall what I meant to talk about later.
Yay.
Okay. So, I don't know. I said the wrong incantation to the guy that rubbed him the wrong way when we first met and shook hands. I don't know, but this guy has just never liked me. And I'm at the point where I will not go out of my way to not antagonize him. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, if everything I say and do is just gonna piss this guy off, I'm not gonna bother not pissing this guy off. I'm just gonna go with it. And so yeah, when I was way up in the tower, when the guy suggested the thing, I'm like, yeah, this is a good idea. And so when I got down there and I saw them, and they were at the panel, because I want to know exactly where these GFCIs were, and they were approximately where I would have guessed. And I said, like, to one of the other guys, hey, good idea, M. I'll just say first letters. Good idea, M. That's when you said it on the radio. That's exactly where I thought where I would have looked after you said it. And the other guy, R, who doesn't like me, said, well, why didn't you say something? What do you mean? Well, why didn't you say to go into this electrical room and check it? Because he already said it. Yeah, well, if you knew, why didn't you say it? What do you mean? Like, because I didn't know it was here. He said it was, like, he just, like, wanted to get this gotcha on me. It was kind of bizarre. And and everyone else just kind of stood around awkward. Like, what are you getting at? And I actually said, like, dude, I was just trying to compliment the guy for having the right mindset and the good idea that found the thing we were looking for. But I guess it's a confrontation now, so I'll leave. And I left. Because, like, I don't want to, it's like I don't want to bring it up to a manager. Because bringing up interpersonal problems to your manager, now it's a problem your manager has to deal with.
Yeah.
Your manager doesn't want to deal with that. Deal with it yourself, if you can. Obviously, if you have to escalate a problem with a coworker, you can't. And my way with dealing with this guy is just avoid him and, not put up with his middle school bullying he decides to do. I think it's because he's one of the guys that thinks pool engineers aren't real engineers.
Right.
And I think I've talked about that before. For some reason at my work, there are guys that, even though pool engineers are near the top of the pecking order everywhere else in the world, at my work, they weren't organized in, I think because the pool department showed up like just a couple years after the place was built, so they just never came in as part of the union, and it took like way too long for them to show up in the union. Anyway, and so like a lot of the guys basically think that pool work is beneath them because those guys never made union wages until recently. Which is like just ridiculous. It's like
it's stupid.
It's like if doctors it's like disrespecting a teacher because she was making garbage pay and suddenly she was making good union pay and being like, well, I mean, it's not like you're qualified to do real education work because you were only making $30,000 a year before. Like, it's a nonsensical critique, and these guys, I don't know. It's there was someone beneath me and now they're not beneath me anymore, and that's what I'm mad about, right? I am no longer I am now at the bottom of the pecking order with everyone else, and I'm mad about it, even though my place is exactly the same. The bottom of the pecking order has just risen. I'm still mad about it. And actually, arguably, the pool guys got elevated above him, so I get why they're mad about it, because they are starting to get the reverence and respect pool engineers normally get at most places. So, like, I guess I kind of do get the bitterness and upsetness about it, right? Like, oh yeah, it's starting to sink in. Like, oh, okay, maybe all right, I get it. You're mad that you used to be on top of things and now you're not. But boy, the guy sure is confrontational. I said a thing to intentionally, like, not to get on his nerve. I'll put it this way. I have learned over the last 10 years a little bit on how to police my language. I've learned a little bit of that check valve of figuring out, okay,
can't say that.
These words will upset a person. I'm a little better at figuring out which words will upset a person than I was maybe 10 years ago. Because I used to be terrible at it, and I knew these words might upset this guy, despite the fact that I knew this guy might misinterpret my words, and I said them so that he could. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I had said something to the effect of, because that we were being asked to do so many things out there at the pool deck, like, it's fine to be asked to, plunge toilets and change light bulbs, but when you start having us do, go change out this air handler blower and like these complex tasks that other people are supposed to do, it turns us all into handymen. And the point of that is to say, when you remove specialization, you reduce quality of work, because if no one is specialized, then everyone has to be so generalized that they can't be good at anything.
Right.
But he took it as me calling him a handyman by saying that that he's asking us to do handyman work. And I kind of let him think that's what I said, because, like, screw that guy, right? Like, why are you jerk to me all the time? Like, I'm constantly nice to you. I'm never mean. I'm always polite. Like, I just don't get the kind of person who you're always nice to. You're always respectful to. You always handle them with care. You're never mean. And they're just always a dick to you.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's like, you know, every now and then, I'll just let you be a dick back to yourself. You know? Next time on The Branch.
Yeah.